So joining me now, Tennessee Republican Senator Bob Corker, member of the Senate Banking Committee. Senator Corker, good to see you. Welcome back to Washington.
Good morning, Chuck. Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right, I want to start with what you heard last night. How much can you support in this plan? I know it specifically doesn't get up to the United States Senate till next week, but from what you've heard, what you've read, what do you like?
Well, Chuck, I think the real emphasis among most people that really want to deal with their economic issues is on this super committee. And I think most of us know that to really deal with our short-term issues, we've got to indicate that we can deal with our long-term, more structural issues. So I really do think there's a strong bipartisan consensus around tax reform, much like was laid out in Bowles-Simpson, entitlement reform, and really pushing this super committee towards a $3 trillion number, not the $1.2 million to $1.5 million that was the base case. So I think there's consensus growing around a longer-term highway bill where people really know that we're going to deal with infrastructure over the long haul. So I'm not being critical. I just hope that with that consensus growing, we don't have sort of presidential politics injected in the middle of that and cause that to break apart, because I really am very hopeful that.
Wait, you think the president's jobs plan, as he introduces it, is going to disrupt what's going on in the super committee and disrupt this other stuff?
I fear that. I think people will move on beyond it pretty quickly. But look, I was with 26, 27 senators just day before yesterday. I really do think there's strong bipartisan support towards dealing with these longer-term issues. And I think anybody who's actually been a job creator like myself and several others who are in the Senate understand that we've got to create that long-term environment for people to go ahead and make those investments and know that our country has dealt with these issues. So my sense is, again, we've got a tremendous opportunity in November and December to do some great things for our country, and I think that's where most of us want to remain focused, and hopefully that's what's going to happen.
But you don't want you don't think there should be some short-term injections of tax credits and some spending on some of these projects around the country over the next 18 months to try to jumpstart the economy a little bit? There's that Mark Zandi report from Moody's that says if this thing were passed in full, that it could actually increase GDP by 2 percentage points next year.
Yeah, I think, yes, I'd like to see some infrastructure spending take place. And I think if we passed a longer-term highway bill, that's exactly what you would see happen. And so, look, it's just I don't think this fiddling around with the edges is the kind of thing that really creates confidence or shows that as a country in Congress we've shown the courage and will to really address the issues. Now, I will tell you, I am looking forward to some documents that I guess will be coming up. I was a little confused as to when the timing is, but I know the president plans to lay out some things as it relates to entitlement reform, and I think that could be very positive. But no, I'm not particularly interested in nibbling at the edges. I really want us to do those things that structurally reform where we are as a country. I think there's tremendous consensus around that, Chuck. Right. I really do, and to me, that's the ticket towards moving us ahead. I'd love to hear what Mark Zandi would say about us doing all of those things and what effect that would have on the GDP. My guess is he would say, hey, that's a home run. This other, I don't know.